Hey troops, GeneralJSmith here, back with another LEGO Star Wars 2017 Winter Set build and review. I am once again back with the Imperial Trooper Battle Pack, set number 75165, ages 6 to 12, comes with 112 pieces and is going to be retailing for £12 or $13. So I think many people will agree when I say this is definitely one of the best battle packs we've had in many years, which is saying something because we've had some really stellar battle packs over the last few years. And I think that's mostly down to, of course, the Death Troopers. The Death Troopers are a great addition to this set. I'm so glad LEGO decided to put in a battle pack. I didn't think they would. Last year, before we got like the pictures and the set names and stuff, I really didn't think they would be in that many sets or that many cheap sets. If we did see another set, it would be a very expensive set. Because if you're unaware, Krennic's Shuttle last year was the only set to have Death Troopers. And while those ones did have the pauldrons, which is expected, of course, I definitely didn't think they would come in a cheap set. So I'm so glad they brought them in, because if you've seen Rogue One, which you definitely should by now because it is an amazing film, if you've seen it, you will know that the Death Troopers were quite common. I mean, not overly common. Of course, the Shore Troopers and the regular Stormtroopers were more common. They weren't oversaturated, but they were common enough to the point where, you know, it's reasonable to make an army of them. They weren't too sparse or rare, you know. They were present and they were awesome. So I cannot wait for the fact that we get two in this battle pack, which means, of course, we're going to see a lot of armies. I've already got two more of this battle pack, and I haven't even opened this one. So with that being said, I really cannot wait to unbox this. This has got to be one of the best battle packs we've had in many years. With that being said, let's go now and build the Imperial Trooper battle pack. As with all battle packs, the build was simple. It only took about 10 minutes, of course, although the build for this actually was a little shorter than the build for this, although this one did have a few more pieces and did come with two different sets, so that's probably the reason. The build for it actually was somewhat unique. I mean, of course, as you may expect, it is somewhat a unique vehicle. To my knowledge, this isn't canon in the actual Star Wars universe. I mean, maybe this isn't either, but this one does look a lot more believable that it would be canon, whereas this one really does look quite odd, and really, I couldn't really see this being used a lot in mocks or stop motions, just because it looks so sort of, well, weird, to be honest with you. But I'll talk about a little more about that in, of course, the actual close-up. That being said, right now, before we start on the actual set, we have to, of course, go onto the main bit of any battle pack, that being the minifigures. So, with great excitement, let's go now and start off with the regular Stormtroopers. Here we have our first minifigure, which is our regular Stormtrooper. We do get two of them in this set, which is of course a very nice addition to any battle pack. If you're an original trilogy fan, which you most likely are, because most Star Wars fans are, then you'll definitely want to get a large army of these guys. The Stormtrooper really is kind of the classic trooper, which you're going to want to get a lot of. He does come with this flick weapon here, which of course you've seen in many other sets before, and I've stated before that I'm not a big fan of it, so I'm just going to take this away right now. Anyway, so the trooper itself, nothing we haven't seen before, of course. We do get the leg printing down there. No arm printing, unfortunately, but then again, you know, kind of basics. There's not really a massive amount LEGO could do. Regular back printing, not a massive amount. The torso and the helmet is also stuff we've seen before. I believe the first time I saw this 2014 in the 2014 Star Destroyer. I might have seen it before or after that. I can't quite remember. Nonetheless, of course, a very nice trooper. We actually got them battle scarred in the previous battle pack from last year, because that's from the Battlefront game. So yeah, still it's nice to see him again. We haven't seen the regular Stormtrooper in a little while, and we haven't seen them in the battle pack for a little while. The last time I think we got it was like in the Rebels battle pack, but of course they were Rebel troopers. So of course it is very nice to get another regular Stormtrooper, because it's always good to have more Stormtroopers, because if you're unaware, the main way the Empire overthrew like the entire galaxy, I suppose, and you know, gained to rule, was more numbers. Similar to how the Separatists and the battle droids did it. It's not as much skill, and it's not as much, you know, very good, because of course Stormtroopers aren't known for their skill, but it's more just a case of there are so many of them in the universe. That's why they're so powerful, because there are so many billions and billions of Stormtroopers, that, you know, they're a real threat. And so you're going to want to get a lot of Stormtroopers, and it's very, very good the fact we get 2 of them in this set, which of course means you can get 2 of these guys and 2 of those wonderful Death Troopers, so you can really build up your army. So yeah, with that being said, nothing too special. Of course, we get a regular clone face, although technically it's just called a trooper face in Lego's terms. But yeah, that is it to our regular Stormtrooper. I'm glad we got them. I really wish they changed the weapons, but still, just kind of a nice little addition. And I'm glad actually we didn't get 4 Death Troopers. I know it sounds kind of odd, but I'm glad with the amount of troopers we got. You know, I think 4 Death Troopers in one battle pack would kind of be too much. I know it sounds odd, but it's almost like it would kind of take away from the rarity, you know, oversaturated, if you know what I'm talking about. That being said, however, Death Troopers are amazing, and of course, with that being said, let's go now and review our wonderful looking Death Troopers. Our next and final minifigure of this set is, of course, our Death Troopers. One of the best minifigures we have had in a very, very long time. In fact, a lot of people did say they found it the best minifigure of 2016, which is saying something because we had a lot of good minifigures. So the Death Trooper then, of course, is one of the best troopers, in my opinion, we've ever seen before. Stormtroopers, in my opinion, some of the best. I like the Death Troopers, maybe the Shadow Troopers, maybe the Shock Troopers, but the Death Troopers are definitely up there just for everything about them. Not just because they're black, because we have had sort of, I suppose, black troopers before, but also the fact the mold, the printing, everything about it just looks elite, looks incredible. Now, in the Krennic shuttle, we did get a Pauldron, which of course we do not get on this minifigure. I'm actually glad about that. Not just because it, you know, still sort of makes the Krennic shuttle troopers more expensive, but also because I don't really want a Pauldron. Pauldrons signify rank, signify, you know, an elite commando type thing. And of course, while these are elite commandos, there are still ranks within them. And I feel really, if you get Krennic shuttle, you get those 2 minifigures, you can have like leaders of the Death Troopers. And I feel if we got Pauldrons with these guys as well, it just wouldn't work as well, because, you know, their battle packs, you're probably going to get quite a lot of them, so it just wouldn't work. So I'm glad the fact we didn't get a Pauldron. Now, the Death Trooper overall is an amazing minifigure. Of course, the helmet really, with many minifigures, is where it's at, where it's all happening. I just want to say, first of all, before we start, that he does come with this irregular gun, which of course we have seen before. I'm just going to take it off right now, because as I've said, I'm not a big fan of it. Nonetheless, the helmet right here, we do get a regular face underneath, is very nice. Of course, the mold is amazing. I really hope we get another set in the future, although in my personal opinion, it might be somewhat unlikely. Maybe like every once in a while set, maybe like in the summer line, you may get one little set, maybe. But to be honest with you, they only appeared in Rogue One. They may appear in future films, so hopefully they will. But so far, they've only appeared in Rogue One, and Rogue One is only really a spin-off sort of story, so it's unlikely we'll see them again anytime soon, which is unfortunate, but still. Anyways, the helmet then, of course, is very, very nice. Different printing, different molds, everything about it. This thing on the side kind of reminds me of those, if you remember those sort of 2009 clone troopers, the Clone Wars clone troopers. We have those attachments. You can attach a visor, and you can also attach those scopes, or I think they were torches or something on the side of them. It somewhat reminds me of that, so that's quite a nice addition as well. Everything about it, you got some white printing on the side there. I was a little worried before I put them on camera that the white markings wouldn't appear, but it appears they do, which is very, very nice, of course. The white markings do show up well against the black, because some minifigures, the white is so dull, you can barely see it whatsoever, so I'm glad it definitely appears. You can see down there, the legs are slightly cut off in terms of the printing, which is a little unfortunate, although I do understand why that happens with a lot of figures. Although that being said, it doesn't happen to all of them. For example, my Sig Fig, it has leg printing all the way down. Why it doesn't do that on all minifigures, I don't understand, but you know, there you go. Nonetheless, of course, no arm printing and stuff like that, but still, overall, an amazing minifigure and definitely something to get multiples of. I am glad the amount of ratio we got in this set, because of course we've got 2 regular and 2 Death Troopers. Some people would rather have we had like 4 Death Troopers, of course, but in my personal opinion, I think it's sort of oversaturated. If you recall the 2013 battle pack with the droided cars, people love the droided cars because they were somewhat rare. They're really powerful droids, you know, unlike just regular battle droids. But the thing is, we got 2 of them in that set, and we didn't want 2 of them. You know, if we're going to get an army of those guys, you don't want an army of these things. But with Death Troopers, it is different, and I'm glad we didn't get 4 of them, because I think 4 would kind of be a bit excessive, and you're not going to want to get that many. You're going to want to have more regular troopers, but still, overall, still a good ratio, in my opinion. Just a quick comparison between this and the Shadow Trooper. The Shadow Trooper, this one we saw in 2013, I believe, 2014, can't quite remember, but we saw another battle pack as well. You can see there are some key differences. Of course, until this point, a lot of people love the Shadow Troopers, one of the best troopers, because, well, a lot of people just love black, you know, the kind of Batman, dark troopers, you know, everyone just likes that kind of thing. Until the Death Troopers, these were a lot of people's favorites, but now we have the Death Troopers. Well, who can really argue? Just the color scheme, just the helmet molds, everything about it is just awesome. So with that being said, the Death Troopers, one of the best minifigures we've had in a very, very long time, and definitely worth picking up. If you don't have Krennic Shuttle, then I would still recommend getting it, but still, it's a good opportunity to get this trooper if you don't have Krennic Shuttle. That being said now, I probably talked too much about this trooper. I just want to express how much I really love it. That being said, let's now move on to the set, the instructions, the box, and include this review. If I had to sum up the build for this battle pack in a few words, I would say this. It's a cool design, got some nice pieces to it, but overall nothing to write home about. In all honesty, compared to many other battle packs, now of course battle packs aren't known for the set, but still compared to many other battle packs, it's nothing too special. We've seen walkers very similar to it in the past, including of course the 2009 walker and the Geonosian walker we also got before, and it's quite similar to that, especially in the leg design, which is extremely similar if not identical. Still, it is somewhat more boxy and slightly different. A lot of people aren't as big a fan about this design because of its more boxy nature. Now, I'm going to say it's not a big deal to me really, because I'm not ever going to use it in a mock. I'm not really going to use any of these walker sort of battle pack things in a mock, just because they just don't look canon enough. They just don't look Star Wars enough, I suppose. They look too, I suppose, like much a toy, which sounds a bit odd, but still. Overall, it's a good battle pack, a good nice little set, but I wouldn't say it's really that cool to, use, I suppose. Still, let's go on to the features. The features, of course, as with many of these sort of battle pack walkers, would be the legs are posable, incredibly posable in fact, much more posable than we have had with many larger walkers such as the ATSC or the ATDP we've had in the past, because of course it is a smaller set, so the legs can be more posable, which is a good plus, but still, there you go. The turrets do move around. They don't go they do go 360. My apologies. I thought they couldn't because I thought this thing would hit there, but apparently it doesn't. Apparently it just misses, so it can go a full 360 degrees, which is pretty cool, although I'm not entirely sure how the trooper who's in top there would be able to see shooting down, so, there you go. Still, we do have also these, I don't know why I keep calling them spring-load shooters. We have these flick missile things, which you can, of course, flick, whee, and I've lost it, but it went off the end of the table probably, which is why you get a ton spare. Still, we've got a couple of those on either end, which is also pretty cool, and I'm sort of glad the fact you don't have to use the actual weapons that they give you, so with this set to use them, although that being said, I don't like these on the minifigures anyway, so I wouldn't use them, but still, it does come with a little clip in the back for, of course, the guy who is sitting there needs to put his gun somewhere, so you just sort of attach it like so, or something, I don't know, just stick it on a peg somehow, however you want to do it really, but there you go, so you just attach it like so, and that's that really. That's more or less the entire battle pack. I'm just going to show you quickly. I've just got a shadow trooper here. I know he's not, by the way, this guy doesn't come with this battle pack. I'm just using him because he's the first minifigure I could get, really. He's the first minifigure to hand. Still, it works for my demonstration. You can see the minifigure does kind of pop out there, like really is quite visible, which is somewhat annoying. I mean, again, it is just a battle pack. I'm never really going to use it, but still, the fact that he's kind of somewhat exposed is slightly annoying. I do kind of wish it was built up a little more around the edges. Not massively, I do understand if it was, then maybe, it would increase piece count, and it may have to be more expensive, which I don't want, and again, battle packs are most of minifigures, so it's not a big deal, far from it. I just suppose, as a design standpoint, I do kind of wish it was built up a little more, because it kind of looks like he's kind of standing on a pedestal sort of thing, just kind of exposed, everything about him is exposed. Really, only his legs are covered up by any sort of protection. Still, there we have it to this little build. Nice little thing. Again, you're mostly going to want to part this out. I doubt anyone's really going to use this in mocks. Although, if you want to use it in mocks, want to build sort of an army with it, that'd be kind of cool. But I think it's mostly be used for parting out. If you're a bricklinker, or you just want to parts for like mocks and stuff, you're mostly going to part this one out as well. I think I've said it like 4 times already. But still, the pieces in here are quite cool. Again, nothing to write home about. Nothing too special. But still, I think it is probably going to worth more. Just the pieces of it will be worth more than the actual build of it. Still, not a bad set. And of course, the troopers are the main reason you get any battle pack. I'm just saying, these are points you've got to consider. It would be nice if you got something like this, say, maybe not quite like this, of course, but something along those lines. Something, because I really love those battle packs where you can actually use the set again for like the 10th time now. Troopers are the main part, but if the actual set can be used in mock stop motions like box speeders, ATRTs, these things can actually be used. That's more just a bonus and really does help with the battle pack, with its value, I suppose. But that being said, that's it to this little set. Pretty cool. And yeah, let's now move on to the instructions in the box and then include this review. As with all smaller sets, our instruction manual is nothing too special. Moving straight towards the back, we have in the back here 1 page of inventory to expect. We have in the back also the construction figures from this line and also some from the previous line, which is pretty cool. Again, as I said, I reviewed K2SO. I hope to get the Death Trooper at some point and possibly the Short Trooper. Leave down in the comments if you want me to get the Short Trooper. That would be the only one from this new line I'm planning on getting. If I was going to get any sort of humanoid characters, I would probably get one of those two because, in my opinion, they are the sort of best humanoid characters we've got in construction form. I'm not a big fan of those with the human faces because I really feel that LEGO hasn't quite nailed the human face in terms of like construction things. It's really nailed making helmets and making sort of, these sort of things like that. but overall, human faces do look a bit odd in construction figures, so yeah. Moving along though, we do get the minifigures for this line, which are very, very cool. Again, as I said before, I cannot wait to unbox him in the Y-Wing. Oh, it's going to be awesome, but still, very nice collection here of minifigures. I cannot wait to get pretty much all of them. Unfortunately, I won't be getting those because I won't be getting the Phantom, but still, there you go. We have also the one in the back here. I don't know why, again, I said in this last review, but I don't know why they don't have the A-Wing in the corner there. It is quite odd to say, but they don't, so there you go. I also have that, by the way. I will be reviewing that. I'll be reviewing all of these, not including the Phantom, because I'm just not a big fan of the Phantom. I'm sorry about that. I know some of you do want me to review it, but I'm sorry, guys. I just got to think of the future, and in my personal opinion, it's just a bit overpriced at like £40 or something. It's kind of expensive, so yeah. Still, we've got we've got 26 pages of build right here, which actually is a little less. I think it's like 2 pages less than the previous battle pack, so there's that. But overall, again, it did take a little less time because it does have a little less pieces, and it is only 1 build rather than the last battle pack was 2. But there you go, that's the instruction manual. Let's go now onto the box. The box is not too particularly special either, rather it is just the usual box we've got on many other battle packs. You can see in the back here we have the features I just went over. Of course, we have those shooters which they all hold, as well as I said before, the trooper does sit in there, and it's kind of exposed in my opinion, but still there you go. Just the little features there where the turrets do sort of move on either end. They can move independently, which is kind of cool, but still we've got some nice box art there. It does go quite well with the other box art, if I can get it. There we go. Just have to reach across the table then. Anyway, so it does go quite well with the Rebel Trooper battle pack right here. You can see the artwork does look quite nice. In fact, from what I can see, it does match exactly. You can see sort of the archway in the middle there does match exactly, so it does go quite well. And of course, the explosion in the bottom corner right there does match as well. So it's quite a nice sort of box art. The fact it does go exactly, you know, with the Rebel Trooper battle pack. Still, I believe this is on Jeddah. I don't think it's on Scarif because Scarif was lots more of a sort of jungle planet. So I believe this is Jeddah, and of course there was a lot of battles there. The battles in Rogue One were amazing, just utterly amazing. But still, nice box art overall, cool little set. And yeah, really, that's it. Let's now move on and conclude my review of the Imperial Trooper Battle Pack. Thank you for watching my review of the Imperial Trooper Battle Pack 75165. As I've stated throughout this review, this is a really good battle pack, a solid battle pack worth picking up, absolutely. This is definitely going to sell out quite quickly, and I would suggest if you want to buy in bulk, which many people are going to want to do, you try to buy in bulk now, or then as soon as it comes out, because I really feel that if you don't buy it now, you're going to have to wait a significant amount of time before this goes on any sort of reasonable sale, or, you know, before it's retailed value again, because I feel once it starts to sell quickly, it's going to increase in price and people are going to want to buy more and more, and I think it's really going to sell out quite quickly because, of course, these Death Troopers are amazing, as well as the fact that, in my opinion, as I've said a few times, it has the perfect ratio of regular Stormtroopers to Death Troopers. If I feel we had 4 Death Troopers, we'd be oversaturated. The value of Death Troopers would go way down because you got 4 of them in one battle pack. You know, you're not going to want to get a bunch of them. Whereas with this one, you get 2 of them, so you can build a decent army, but at the same time, you get 2 regular Stormtroopers. And of course, you're going to want to get a lot of Stormtroopers as well, especially for like newer people coming to Star Wars who maybe don't have as many Lego Stormtroopers as of yet. You know, it's definitely a good way to build an army of them because Stormtroopers are in armies. You rarely see just a few Stormtroopers here and there. Normally, you'll see them in massive legions because that's how the Empire wins every war. It's just with a bunch of troops. So yeah, overall, a great battle pack, definitely worth the money, and this is one that I think I'm going to get a lot more of than the Rebel one. Not saying the Rebel one is bad, as I said in that review, it's a good set, just in my opinion, because of these Death Troopers, because of all that stuff, it's still good to get. Now, you may be thinking the value of the Death Troopers may go down significantly, because before, of course, we just got them in Krennic Shuttle, now we're getting them in the battle pack. Now, yes, while I do feel they will go down significantly, I don't think they'll go down that much, because the Death Troopers are still valuable, people are still going to want to get them, and you only get 2, and 2 in this battle pack for the price of like £12. That's still like £6 a Death Trooper if you're only buying it for the Death Troopers. So that's still quite hefty for a minifigure. So I feel the value of Death Troopers will stay, you know, relatively high compared to many other troopers. And of course, as this starts to sell out, as this battle pack starts to, you know, really get sold out in many places, I feel the Death Trooper is still going to remain quite a popular minifigure. A lot of people are going to get. Still, that is it then to my review. I hope you did enjoy it. I feel like I talked about the Death Troopers quite a lot, but I saw the film recently and they were just so amazing that I just have to talk about Death Troopers so much. I feel I said the word Death Troopers too many times. But there we go. Thank you guys for watching this review, and I hope you did enjoy it. I will see you next time with my review of Yoda's Jedi Starfighter. Looks fun set. I'm not entirely sure what I feel about that set right now, but still, we'll find out then. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, troops. with another LEGO Star Wars 2017 winter set. Let's build and review, and that's the wrong thing. Back with another LEGO Star Wars 2017. Let's build and review? What? Back with another LEGO Star Wars 2017 winter set. Back with another LEGO Star Wars 2017 summer set. That's wrong, it's winter. Back with the Trooper. And yes, while they do not have those pauldrons that the one in Krennic Shuttle do, because I feel that is the perfect amount. I think if we've got too many, it probably would be so. Unfortunately, have not had the pleasure of unboxing yet, although of course I'm about to in like the next second, so what am I talking about? This is one of the best battle packs of this entire year. It's only one of the what the hell are you talking about, Josh? The build was actually somewhat shorter than the build for the previous battle pack, which I just reviewed. Go link. Although I will say it's actually a little shorter than this, but that being said, let's go now into the main bit of any battle pack, and that is of course the Stormtroopers for this particular one. What are you talking about, Josh? Shut up. Regular Stormtrooper. What the hell was that? Regular Stormtrooper, whoever's looking at the low. Oh, God! If you're an original trilogy fan, then you'll definitely want to get multiples of these because, of course, anyone wants to build an army. Whee! Stop it, Josh. You're not going to want to get this set purely for that. Although, why would you? And our instruction manual. Wow, that was a really pathetic throwdown. I thought it would be a lot more impressive. The box, as with the rest of the set, isn't really too special, although